Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a young and beautiful girl named Aaliyah. She was only 18 years old, full of life and hope. Aaliyah lived with her mother and father. Her family was not rich, but they were proud people. Aaliyah was in love with a young man named Kamis. He was kind, smart, and hardworking. Kamis worked at a small food stall in the village. Every day, after his work, he would come to see Aaliyah, and they would sit under the big mango tree near her home. They talked about their future, their love, and their dreams. They promised to stay together forever. But one day, everything changed. Aaliyah's father, Mr. Mzee Bashir, received a visit from a very rich old man from the city. The old man's name was Mr. Qasim. He was a billionaire. He had many cars, houses, and businesses. He was over 60 years old, but he wanted a young wife. He had seen Aaliyah once during a village event and decided he wanted to marry her. Mr. Qasim told Aaliyah's father, "I will give you 50 million and build your family a big house if you let me marry your daughter." Aaliyah's father was shocked and happy. He saw it as a gift from God. He didn't even ask Aaliyah how she felt. He just agreed. Aaliyah cried and begged her parents, "Please, I love Kamis. He may not be rich, but he loves me truly. Please don't do this to me." But her father shouted, "Love cannot buy food. Qasim will take care of you and all of us. You must marry him. This is your duty to the family." Aaliyah's mother was quiet. She had tears in her eyes but did not speak. She feared her husband. Aaliyah was forced to marry Mr. Qasim. The wedding was big and expensive. Many people came, music played, and there was a lot of food. But Aaliyah did not smile. Her heart was broken. Kamis was not there. He had left the village the day before, heartbroken and lost. Mr. Qasim took Aaliyah to the city. His house was huge like a palace. It had many rooms, guards, and servants. But for Aaliyah, it felt like a prison. Mr. Qasim was not kind. He was jealous, strict, and controlling. He did not allow her to go out alone. He chose what she wore, who she met, and what she ate. He never asked her if she was happy. He believed that because he was rich, he owned her. Aaliyah felt lonely. There was no love, no happiness, only silence, anger, and sadness. Years passed. Aaliyah was now in her mid-20s. She had no children, no friends, and no joy. Her face no longer glowed like before. Her heart was tired. One day, after a big fight with Mr. Qasim, he slapped her. That was the final straw. That night, Aaliyah packed a small bag, took a little money she had saved secretly, and escaped. Life on the streets was hard. Aaliyah had no place to go. She slept under bridges, in parks, or behind buildings. Sometimes kind people gave her food. Sometimes she went hungry. Her beautiful clothes were stolen. She started wearing old torn clothes. But she felt free. Free from the prison of a loveless marriage. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. Aaliyah started begging for food. She felt ashamed, but had no choice. One day she walked near a big restaurant. It looked clean and rich. She smelled the food and her stomach rumbled. She waited at the back, near the kitchen door, hoping to get some leftovers. A young man came out with a trash bag full of food. Aaliyah looked at him and her heart stopped. The man looked like Kamis. "Could it be?" she called softly. "Kamis?" The man turned. He looked at her face, shocked. "Aaliyah?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yes, it's me." Kamis walked closer, staring at her face. Though she looked tired and poor, he could still see the girl he once loved. "My God, where have you been? What happened to you?" he asked. She fell to the ground crying. "It's a long story." Kamis helped her up and took her inside the restaurant. It was warm and clean. People looked at her with surprise, but no one said anything because Kamis was the boss. Yes, Kamis was now the owner of the restaurant. After leaving the village, he went to the city. He worked hard, learned business, and grew his small food stall into a big restaurant chain. He was now rich, but he had never forgotten Aaliyah. He gave her food, clean clothes, and a place to sleep in a small room behind the restaurant. That night, Aaliyah told him everything, how she was forced to marry, how her life was sad and empty, and how she finally ran away. Kamis held her hand. "You are safe now. I still love you, Aaliyah. I never stopped." Aaliyah's eyes filled with tears. Even after all these years? Yes, he said. True love never dies. Camise helped Aaliyah start a new life. He bought her new clothes, took her to the doctor, and gave her a job at the restaurant. Slowly, she started smiling again. Her beauty returned, but more than her face, it was her heart that was healing. Customers loved her kindness. She welcomed everyone with a smile. The workers respected her, and soon she became the manager of the restaurant. Months passed. One evening, Camise took her to the same mango tree park in the city, just like the one in their village. It was quiet and full of stars. He held her hand. Aaliyah, I loved you before the world changed us. Now that we are together again, will you be mine forever? Aaliyah nodded with a big smile. Yes, Camise, I will. They got married in a small but beautiful wedding. This time, Aaliyah wore a white dress with joy in her heart. There were no expensive cars or fake smiles, only real love and real happiness. And Aaliyah lived a peaceful life. Together, they opened more restaurants and helped poor girls who had been forced into marriages. Aaliyah told her story to many women, teaching them to fight for love and freedom. Years later, they had 2 children, a boy and a girl. They told their children the story of how they met, got separated, and found each other again. True love, Aaliyah would say, can be lost, but if it is real, it always finds its way back. And so they lived happily ever after.